Okay, so here is the Mirage 3C by Eduard. This is the weekend edition here. Okay, so I'm going to go over the kit here and tell you what I like and dislike about this kit. Um, okay, so I didn't post any of the step-by-step pictures that I usually do. I just wanted to just build the kit and kind of get done with it. And then, just go ahead and post it on YouTube for the rest of you to see. So yeah, because there's sometimes I don't really feel like getting my camera out and snapping pictures and then putting it down, then building. So sometimes I just want to build. Okay, so but here it goes. Okay, overall the kit from a 1 to 10, I would give this kit probably a 6. Okay, there were some issues with the kit here. Luckily, I was able to get them fixed. It was a bit of a hassle. Okay, I'll go over it right now in a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and show you, turn this kit around. The paint that I used here was the Alclad's aluminum. It wasn't the polished aluminum or anything like that. It was just the regular Alclad's. I really liked the way the Alclad's came out. It didn't really give it a clean, it was like looking all one straight color. There were some spots here and there. Okay, let me see if I can show you. I don't know if you can see it on here, but as you can see, it's kind of like when you do the weathering and you put like a black underneath, and then you you put your paint, regular paint down, and you can see like the black coming through, so it looks old. So it doesn't look like one solid color. Okay, that's one thing I noticed about it. If you get in the right light, it does look like that, one solid color. But right here it doesn't, but I'm okay with that. I really didn't want it to look, all solid, looking all like it was brand new. I wanted to kind of look kind of worn out. Then I went ahead and used the Humbrol gloss on this one, and I gotta say that I really liked the way the Humbrol gloss came out. It was like a once or twice go over with the gloss, and it came out really nice, really glossy. And then once I put a third coat after I put the decals on, it really came out glossy. And I really liked the way it came out that way, so I decided to leave it glossy. So let me go ahead and show you. Let me zoom in. So as you can see, there's a gloss to it, okay? So I really like the Humbrol. Humbrol doesn't work when brushing. I wouldn't suggest using the Humbrol for if you're going to use a brush. It's really better if you use an airbrush. Okay, and let me see here, because I tried it before, trying to brush it on something else, and you can really see those streaks, and then it really didn't come out uniform. It was just like you can see patches here and there. It was like a glossy area here, and then on one spot you can see that it was dulled out, and it just didn't look good at all. So I just I left the Humbrol there for a while, but I decided to give it a shot, because this kit was giving me a problem, and I really thought it wasn't going to come out as good as it did, but it ended up looking really nice. I'm very pleased with the kit. Okay, so let me turn it around. Let me try not to break anything else. There was a pitot tube right down here, but as I was moving it over here to make this video, I was holding it up at holding it straight up, then the piece actually broke and fell into the intake, and it's somewhere in the aircraft somewhere, so I'm gonna have to find an extra piece somewhere and put it right underneath there. So yeah, because the other piece is a little bit larger than the one you see back here. And you gotta be careful with these things. This thing, I move it here and there, and these pieces keep breaking because I happen to just put my hand right there in those spots where I'm grabbing. So, oh, my battery's gonna die. Oh, great. Okay, so let me spin it around really fast. Okay. And the issues, one thing I didn't like about this kit, there were some gaps in here underneath the aircraft where the intake is. There was some big gaps, and then in the back there was a gap, and I really didn't like those gaps. It was a problem filling in, it was a problem sanding. Okay, so let me see if I can get it without breaking something. So right in here there were big gaps, and then in the back here I had to get a piece of sprue, melt it, stretch it out. It was kind of stringy. Then I had to place it in there and glue it, then trying to fill it back in with some of the putty. Luckily it worked out just fine. There is a bit of a slight gap and a slight step, but it isn't too big. Okay, and then the issue up here was there was a gap in here. Okay, so when you put the wing together with the fuselage, there was gaps here and gaps there. Okay, so I had to put in some of the putty and then fill it and use a file, and yeah, it was kind of a hassle a bit there. So I didn't like that, but everything else came together nicely. The fuselage came together good. One thing that I lost was the piece of plastic that went there, and it fell somewhere, and like most other stuff, once it hits the floor, it's gone. I looked everywhere for it, couldn't find it, so I had to use a piece of plastic soda bottle, cut out the plastic, put it in there, and then glue it, and it worked. So it's just a little, you can see a little circle there, but it isn't too big. Okay. And then I actually got to put the guns on. I'm always leaving something off when I'm finished. So there's always one thing or another. So I had to do a video of guess what I left out, and you get a free kit. But yeah, I like the kit. The decals conform really nicely. As you can see right in there. Okay, they conform nicely. I had to put about, like maybe 7 or 8 coats of the decal solution on the decals to actually get it conform. But it did conform just right. You can see right back there, you can see. Okay. And the canopy, I put the photo etch inside the cockpit area, but I'm not sure if I want to open the canopy. I glued it in a way so that it can just I can just pop it off and then put in the canopy jack so that the canopy will stay open and you can actually see the decals, or not the decals, the photo etch, and then the harnesses that are inside the cockpit. Okay, so it's all in there. Let's see. Okay, so one thing I was having another issue with was getting the canopy to close. In the back, once you glue the cockpit tub in, and then you go to set the canopy, you'll find that it actually doesn't sit properly, and you have to sand it, and then you'll find that the two halves of the fuselage don't come together properly. They don't close, so you're trying to figure out exactly where you have to sand. That was another issue I had. If I had to build the kit again, would I? I don't know, that's kind of tough. I mean, it came out really nice, it really did. I really like it. But for the hassle that it gave me, I'm not too sure. The MiG-21 that I posted that I built was a lot better fitting. This one, not so great. Yeah, I'm not sure. That's a big, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not too sure. I can't really give you an answer on that. But yeah, it looks good. It looks really good. I had the option of putting the fuel tanks on here, but I opted to go out for the rocket pods instead. And then that is the missile here. I think it's called the Matra. I'm not sure which one that is. Okay, so I decided to go with that missile. There's another one that has the fins in the front of the missile, but I didn't want to use that one. I thought I wanted something different, so I put this one on here. And then another thing, these flaps up on top or in the back here, they didn't go together properly, so I just used some putty, filled it in, and it looks a little better than what it did before. There you can see some steps in here where the instruction manual tells you not to pinch the wings together when you glue the top and bottom halves together, it tells you not to pinch this because the flaps go on there. And as a result of that, you get a bit of a gap there in a step. Not too big, but it is there. At the right angle you can see it, or at the wrong angle you can see it, and at the right angle you can't. As you can see, if you turn it this way, you can't see it there. Sorry, I'm manually focusing my camera here. But there it is. That is the kit. Okay. I think this, the way I painted it, came out looking like some of the other ones that I've seen on the internet. So, and you know, I'm just an average modeler just like everyone else out there. So I think if any of you were to pick this kit up and did it, you can get it to come out looking just like this. It wasn't hard, but I think what really made it stand out more was using the right aluminum paint. Okay, if you can, I think if I used the Tamiya paint, I think it wouldn't have come out looking as good as it did. But since the flakes on the alclads are really fine, it really looks really nice. It doesn't look like, you know, some of the other paints out there. Okay, so let me try and get in a closer view so you can see what I'm talking about. You can see there. I think the Model Masters aluminum plate, I think that one would come out nice too if you use it on this kit, or even just a regular aluminum. I think that one would come out good. But from using other aluminums like the Tamiya, I would stay away from it when it comes to building this kit. I really don't think it would look really good on this kit or any other kit. Like I said, I have used Tamiya aluminum. It just doesn't look that great. Okay, so there is the kit. I will put some pictures in here of the kit when I get some better lighting in the day. It's about 9:30 right now at night. And I'm in the washroom because this is the best lighting that I have. Alright, but there it is. I hope I didn't miss anything. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave it in the comments and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Okay. Alright, thanks for watching.